Happy New Year, everyone. It's Lion Roar here, and we have a couple of brand new legendary heroes at the altar in Gemstone Legends, including legendary Setareh. So, of course, in today's video, I'm going to talk all about them. All right, so first, I have to say, Gemstone Legends has been absolutely killing it with the art lately, and here is another good one. So keep up the good work, Gemstone Legends. I just love the top-notch art that's been coming out lately. Of course, you're not going to be able to summon for this hero or the next one we cover if you haven't downloaded Gemstone Legends yet, so be sure to do that. There's a link in the description where you can get a free epic hero. Of course, most of my viewers have been following along with me as we've been playing Gemstone Legends, so here's another hero. Let's dive through it and see if this is a hero that's worth summoning. Setareh, just looking at some of the base stats here, and of course these are maxed out at 6 stars and totally awoken and everything, but I think it's useful to look at the max stats to see if this is one that's really worth putting all your resources into. 25,000 HP. It's a little higher than that, 25,185. Attack is at 1992 and defense at 1940, so those are pretty good stats for both of those. They're actually kind of balanced too, so nothing's really like sticking out as overpowered or underpowered or anything like that. Speed is 201, which is on the better side. Mana gain 17, a little on the tougher side. However, if you want to load her up with mana equipment and just give every piece of mana equipment to her, you can get her up to 20, and that's actually huge because that means you can set her special off after only 5 tiles instead of 6. So that's important to note here as well. Setareh is an attack leader for all allies in guild-related battles by 38%. So if you need that attack synergy, you do have her. Of course, you're probably looking for speed in that spot, but if you have a team that requires a higher attack to synergize with, you can use her for that. Double Swing is the special. Inflicts decreased speed on a single enemy for 3 turns. That's actually huge because the name of Gemstone Legends is speed, both with the special and the ability to match the tiles. The more you get to play and your opponent doesn't, the more likely you are to win. So you get to slow down at least one opponent here, and you're probably going to be picking one that has an absurdly high speed rating so that you can like kind of move it to the back of the line a little bit too. Deals damage to a single enemy, 250% attack. That's actually not a ton of damage. You know, like you can play that up with equipment too. Like if you're putting the mana equipment on and you're making sure to increase the attack stat, of course you can squeeze some more damage out of that one, but I actually like this next one better. Deals damage to a single enemy, 32% of caster's max HP. That is where the damage really lies. So what you're going to want to do, probably at least with the active part of the special here, is bring this hero in against opponents where they are relying on their HP. So this is an HP hunter. All right. So if you have the choice, if you're going up against a defense and you have a choice to bring a hero, you want to bring this one to really deal with a lot of HP on the other side of the battlefield. So take note of that. Look for that. We do have a passive special here, Dance of Ecstasy. If there are at least 3 living enemies at the start of her turn, she removes 2 negative statuses from all allies. And that's huge. There's a lot of statuses in Gemstone Legends, and it is really difficult to get rid of them. And a lot of times heroes will only get rid of statuses on themselves, or they'll only get rid of 1 for everybody. But this one's getting rid of 2 negative statuses for all allies, which I think is really, really good. You need that cleansing effect from time to time. If 2 enemies are alive, she removes 3 negative statuses. If 1 enemy is alive, she removes 4 negative statuses. Now, one thing I want to note about those additional effects, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. However, there is diminishing returns because if you have 1 enemy alive, you're probably winning, right? Unless you get down to the point where it's one-on-one or something like that. But there's diminishing returns with this particular passive here. So just take note. It's probably going to be at its most powerful when there's more living enemies to be able to cleanse, because that's really what's going to turn the tide. We're talking about like in any kind of battle, turning the tide, the point at which you can win the battle before you've won the battle. If they only have 1 enemy alive, you've probably won the battle. At the start of her turn, she recovers 8% mana for each dead enemy. That's amazing. And that's a little bit of a win more type of ability. But once you start killing opponents, it creates this domino effect where you start to overwhelm the enemy. So not only are you now cleansing, but you're recovering mana and your heroes are going to go off faster. This can really start to snowball, especially if you pair her with other heroes that have a similar type of, like, as the battle goes on, they get stronger kind of effect. Um, it can start out looking close, and if you can just break through the early stages of the game, you should be able to overwhelm your opponent. And then, of course, mana gain increased by 1 if you can level the ability all the way up to its max level there. So take note, that's not going to be on the hero as soon as you get her. You're going to have to put a lot of work and resources into her to get that, but that's there as well, which means you need 1 less pair of mana equipment if you want to fire her after 5 tiles instead of 6. All right, so I think she's a pretty good hero, an interesting one. I think that this is a hero that you are probably... I feel like it's more of an offensive hero when you get to choose the type of heroes you're going up against, just because of that HP effect on the active side of the special. And like, you want to synergize her special against opponents. Like, right, if they don't put a lot of HP equipment on her, they don't have a lot of HP or synergize with HP, she's not really using her special at her best. So that means that she's probably more of an offensive hero where you get to strategize and choose where she goes. So do take note of that. But I think she can be used on defense too, especially with the right synergies. All right, let's go back to the altar now and look at the new epic hero Dusa as well. So she's a specialist, a warlock for the Slavs. And these stats are going to be powered down a little bit because, of course, when I went into the lexicon, I was looking at the max power for Setaray, but for Dusa, these are not like max power stats. Just be aware of that. Okay, looking at her ability. Curse of Eternal Pain, 100% chance to inflict burn on all enemies for 3 turns, 70% chance to inflict heal block on all enemies for 3 turns. That's kind of nice because healing can kind of undo statuses that are dealing damage every turn, like burn. So that's a great way to make sure that damage is going to land. And then 35% chance to inflict decreased speed on all enemies for 3 turns. And I think that is the best part of that special. And this is on all enemies. Unlike with Setareh, this one's going to hit everybody. And that means to me, that piques my interest, actually. That means to me that Doosa might be a hero you want to take all the way to 6 stars. So just saying, that speed component of it makes her extremely valuable. And when I'm looking for good heroes in Gemstone Legends, it is anything that messes with speed, that increases the speed of my heroes or increases the mana gain or decreases the speed of the opponent or their ability to fire specials. Dance of Death is also listed here. 30% chance to use her special ability twice. So this is the passive. Gains 10% additional recast chance for each dead enemy and immune to curse and decrease speed. So there she has a little protection from your opponent's shenanigans. And if you want to use her as a leader, she is an accuracy leader in the guild against and increases the accuracy of 40% for all allies in guild-related battles. So do take note of that. Now, also remember, in the Guild Wars, you need to have epic heroes. You need to have rare heroes. I think an epic hero like this that's going to decrease the speed of all your enemies is extremely valuable, and I think it is worth going after her. There's another way to put that special, by the way. Increase the speed of all your allies for 3 turns. Either way, if you're decreasing your opponent's speed or you're increasing your own speed, it's kind of the same effect, right? Like, you go first, you fire your special first, you win. So I like both of these heroes. I think now is a really good time to summon. And of course, you got a 50% boost on Setareh. You've got a 25% boost here on Dusa. So yeah, and just for a moment, because I think that she has a really cool special and is going to be quite good, I'm going to jump into the lexicon. We'll click on Slavs and see if we can find her here, because I want you to see her max stats, because since I think she's worth summoning for, I think it's worth seeing the max stats. And you can see that here, 18,336 HP, pretty good. The attack is a little bit lower at 1585. The defense is really good, though, at 1779. I think that she, as a specialist, you know, you want to keep her alive because once she's going off, she's making it more likely your team is going to win. The art on this is amazing as well. So I'm excited about these two. Let me know in the comments what you think about them. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And I will catch you in the next one.